Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon to vote for Qui-Gon Jinn or Cad Bane, and like and subscribe for more comprehensive healthcare next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Baymax, the lovable robot from Big Hero 6, who I love because it means I get to make a healer. Healers are very underrepresented in media. Every team has a fire person, an edgelord assassin, a chaotic jokester, but no healers? I suppose most adventurers are freelancers. They don't have insurance. Bummer.
Hello, I am Baymax, your personal healthcare companion.
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we're a healer. Second, butt. So if anyone hurts a hero, you need to bash him up good. Finally, we'll just keep the damage off the little baby boy. If you had a little more agency, you might stop the child from trying to be a superhero, but you're too agreeable. So just do a good job of keeping him safe. For stats, we're using the standard point buy from the player's handbook for the things we need and the things we don't. Strength and charisma are at 15. You're massive and lovable. Big himbo energy. Wisdom at 13. Medicine has to be a priority if you're healing. Not really, there are definitely charisma-based healers, and you're one of them, but you do have a good amount of medical knowledge. Constitution at 12, if you die, you can't heal. Maybe heal yourself a bit, or at least ask for a patch-up every now and then. Dexterity and intelligence can fall down to 8. You're real clumsy, and not really smart about things that aren't medical stuff. You're like a baby that could perform an appendectomy. Baymax is a robot. Warforged work pretty good for robots, giving you +2 Constitution and +1 Charisma if those are the stats you want. I'd take them. You get integrated protection to protect your little marshmallow body, letting you merge with a set of armor and gain +1 to your AC while you're fused with it. Your constructed resilience gives you advantage on saves against being poisoned, and you resist poison damage. You don't need to eat, drink, breathe, or sleep, instead just taking a sentry's rest to get the effects of a long rest, going on rest mode and standing still for 4 hours. Grab intimidation for your skill of choice to be evil Baymax and build your own background for medicine and perception proficiency so you can see what's wrong with people and heal them up. But to heal creatures right away, roll up a paladin. That'll give you 2 skills from the paladin list like athletics and persuasion, but mostly we're here for lay on hands. This heals creatures from a pool equal to 5 times your paladin level as an action and can cure the effects of poisoning and disease by spending 5 of those. You also get divine sense to let you find fiends, undead, and celestials nearby, an amount of times per long rest equal to your charisma modifier. Not normally a Big Hero 6 thing, but when the Heartless start attacking San Francisco, yeah, that's gonna come in handy. Kingdom Hearts reference. There might be another one later. Second level paladin is where things really get going. It's where they get divine smites, something we're not gonna use. What? Is that allowed? It's because you should be using your spell slots for healing, with spells like Cure Wounds, which heals 1d8 plus your charisma modifier to a creature you touch for a little healthy head pat. Bless gives up to 3 creatures a d4 to add to attack rolls and saving throws, just making some of the squad a little safer. And Purify food and drink takes poisons or rot away from a food or a drink, giving the team the most potent potables, except they're all kids, don't give them booze. You also get a fighting style, and unfortunately, we can't get a rocket punch since paladins don't get unarmed fighting, which makes sense when you can't smite with unarmed strikes. There was an addendum where Jeremy Crawford said, your DM can change that rule at home if they want, which makes it like every other rule in the game. But since we can't take that one, the defense fighting style adds 1 to your AC while you're wearing armor. If you get the heaviest stuff, you have 20 AC between this and integrated protection. That's pretty good at level 2. The heaviest stuff costs a lot of gold. You probably won't be able to afford it at level 2, but yeah. Third level paladins get divine health, making you immune to disease. You cure the disease, you do not catch it. And getting hacked is more like dominate person, not a disease. You can also choose a sacred oath. Oath of redemption puts the PAL in paladin. You get 2 options for a channel of divinity to use per short rest. As an emissary of peace, you can add 5 to your persuasion checks for 10 minutes to be even more adorable. Or you can rebuke the violent, letting you force a wisdom saving throw on a creature after they hit someone within 30 feet of you, dealing the same amount of radiant damage to them. Anyone hits one of your babies, time for the laser. 4th level paladins get an ability score improvement or feat, and we need to punch. It's not good. At home, please just use a warhammer and start buffing your stats right now, but we need to punch if we're Baymax. The fighting initiate feat gives you a fighting style like unarmed fighting to deal 1d8 bludgeoning damage with your unarmed attacks, or 1d6 if you only have 1 free hand, and 1d4 to a creature you have grappled once per round. Your hugs are great, but if you forget you're wearing the armor, that hug could be less squishy fun and more like being put through a trash compactor. 5th level paladins get an extra attack, letting you attack twice with your action instead of once if you just really need to hammer someone with your hands. Or a hammer, really just use a hammer, there's no reason not to. You can also learn second level spells. Since paladins pick their spells on a long rest, I'm just gonna name all the ones you might like. Aid gives up to 3 creatures an extra 5 HP for 8 hours. That's honest to goodness HP that can be healed with lay on hands or cure wounds later. Warding Bond gives a creature +1 to their AC and saving throws and resistance to all damage. The only caveat is you take all the damage they do. It's a great spell if you're trying to be the tank for a literal child. Lesser Restoration removes the effects of disease, blindness, deafness, paralyzation, or poisoning from a creature as an action, helping you save some lay on hands healing or get rid of more kinds of sickness. Zone of Truth forces a charisma saving throw on creatures in a 15-foot radius. Failing that, they can't tell a lie, giving you the lie detector app. Pretty great app, seems useful. 6th level paladins get Aura of Protection, letting your allies add your charisma modifier to their saving throws when they're within 10 feet of you, including you, but it's mostly to make you the best possible mount for Hero. Also, Hero can ride you because he's custom lineage small humanoid. Kids are small. Haven't written the whole Hero script, but that will be part of it. Just rip the band-aid off now for the custom lineage haters. Then Baymax can put another band-aid on. That's kind of what he does. 7th level redemption paladins get even better at babysitting with the Aura of the Guardian. That lets you use your reaction to take damage for a creature within 30 feet of you instead of them, just dropping in and soaking it up with your big puffy body. It might also encourage Hero to be a little more reckless, but don't think about that too much. 8th level paladins get another ability score improvement. As great as punching is, charisma will help your healing and protection abilities, so it's probably more important. At this point, we need to take to the skies, so let's jump over to Sorcerer, specifically Holy Soli or Divine Soul if you want to get technical about it. That makes you favored by the gods, letting you add 2d4 to a failed attack roll or saving throw once per short rest, making your saving throws kinda ridiculous, but also helping make up for a lack of investment in your attacking modifier. For your cantrips, Spare the Dying stops a creature at 0 HP from rolling death saving throws as you use your defibrillator hands to stabilize them. If you'd rather just clear an enemy, Shocking Grasp is a melee spell attack that deals 2d8 lightning damage and prevents the target from taking reactions. In my opinion, this is actually probably a better punch than punching. Since lightning is a less resisted damage type, it's a bigger damage die, and it uses your superior charisma modifier instead of strength. Guidance and resistance give creatures a d4 to add to skill checks or saving throws respectively. Resistance pairs especially nice with Aura of Protection, making sure your friends are passing their saves when they need to. For your first level spells, Healing Word heals a creature 1d4 plus your charisma modifier as a bonus action with a 30-foot range. It's kind of busted for getting people back from 0 since you can still have your action to make 2 attacks or Shocking Grasp someone. Featherfall prevents up to 5 falling creatures from taking falling damage. That's almost all of Big Hero 6, over 80%. Multiclassing spellcasters isn't too stressful. Just check page 165 of the player's handbook to figure out how many spell slots you have at any given level. 2nd level sorcerers get a Font of Magic with sorcery points you can use to recover spell slots for now and do cooler stuff with next level. For now, also grab the 1st level spell Shield to add 5 to your AC as a reaction. If you die, you can't provide quality healthcare. That's the truest death. 3rd level sorcerers get Meta Magic, letting you spend your sorcery points to augment your spells. Twinned Spell lets you target 2 creatures with a spell that would normally target 1, making Healing Word even more potent for a big party or a medium-sized party with, 6. Distant Spell doubles the range of a spell in case someone is just out of the range with your Healing Word. You can also learn 2nd level spells like Enhance Ability, giving a creature advantage on ability checks of a certain type. If you choose Strength, they double their carrying capacity, so that's one you should use for some super strength. Dexterity also makes them not take falling damage from heights of 20 feet or less, and Constitution gives them 2d6 temporary HP. But yeah, probably use the Strength one. We don't have the lifting abilities we need. 4th level sorcerers get another ability score improvement, cap off your charisma modifier to be the ultimate healthcare companion. You're like a normal doctor, if that doctor was also a literal tank. For this level spell, Enlarge Reduce makes a creature one size larger or smaller. If you made yourself larger, you'd also get a d4 to add to your attacks with weapons, not weapon attacks, specifically attacks with weapons. Kind of a bummer because that means no unarmed strikes, but you could just use a hammer. It also gives you advantage on strength checks and saves. You'll get a better concentration option next level. That's because 5th level sorcerers get 3rd level spells like Fly, giving a creature a 60-foot flying speed for up to 10 minutes depending on your concentration. Forget an ambulance, you're a medical helicopter without the blades. Although you do have proficiency, so it would be much better than punching, maybe get some blades. Now we can bounce back to Paladin. 9th level paladins can learn 3rd level paladin spells. Revivify brings a creature that died in the last minute back to life with 1 HP. It's got expensive components, so try Healing Word first, but if you can't get to them right away, this is a decent backup. Aura of Vitality makes an aura of healing in a 30-foot radius, letting you heal a creature 2d6 as a bonus action in the aura for a spammable Healing Word. It does require your concentration though, so you can't use this and fly at the same time. 10th level paladins get an Aura of Courage, making creatures within 10 feet of you immune to frightening. How could you be afraid when you're riding 100 miles per hour, 100 feet in the air on the back of a robot your brother built before dying and never intended to be a machine of war? That sounds soothing. 11th level paladins get improved divine smite, which is not good for you, adding a d8 of radiant damage to all of your attacks with weapons, not weapon attacks, so no punch. But you could use a warhammer with no penalty, or a war staff, paint a snake on it, and it's the rod of Askabalisk, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Boom, the healing tool. 12th level paladins get another ability score improvement, round up your strength and wisdom scores since odd numbers do nothing for you. +3 to punches, pretty bad, but it's better than +2. 13th level paladins get 4th level spells. Stone Skin gives a creature resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for an hour depending on your concentration for harder steel plating. It's free from the redemption list, pretty great. Aura of Purity gives allies advantage on saves against being blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned. They resist poison damage and can't be diseased. Preventative healthcare is always better than emergency care. That's why single payer is a much more economic system, as well as a better system for individual health. Early screenings for cancers and disease can help you catch things earlier when they're easier to treat and cheaper to treat. I'm just talking about Aura of Purity here, not advocating for an overhaul of the American healthcare system. Okay, I'm doing both. 14th level paladins get Cleansing Touch, letting you remove the effect of a spell on a creature you touch automatically an amount of times per long rest equal to your charisma modifier. No ability check or anything, just automatically shutting down any illness put onto your party. Our capstone is the 15th level of Redemption Paladin for Protective Spirit, automatically healing you 1d6 plus half your paladin level at the end of your turn if you end your turn with less than half your hit points. So that's going to be 1d6 plus 7 since it rounds down, I believe. If you heal yourself, you can stay alive longer to heal everyone else. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you're an amazing healer with 75 lay on hands healing, tons of healing spells, and meta magic to spread those heals around. You're also a beefy boy with 20 AC after integrated protection and the defense fighting style, not to mention 150 HP that starts auto healing around 75 to stay up for a long time. Finally, you're a friend with Aura of Protection, Warding Bond, and other aura spells to buff your allies for staying close. For weaknesses, punching is so bad for a paladin, you can't smite with it, and taking that feat took away an ability score. That, paired with the multiclassing, means that your strength is only +3, so you won't even be that accurate with your punches. Finally, your dexterity is really low. If you were to wear heavy plate mail, you're not sneaking up on anyone with -1 and disadvantage on stealth checks. But healthcare doesn't need to be sneaky, you can heal and tank at the same time. Two fantastic functions you're fantastic at. Protect the children, heal them if any damage comes in, and fly around a super rad city. Just watch out for an evil clone of yourself, taken over by an evil clone, made by an ice scholar to bamboozle a child in a tower before being repurposed by a lich who also split the ice scholar's soul in half to put half of his own soul into the ice scholar, then abandoned the ice scholar because he found another soul to put his soul into. I just wanted to put another Kingdom Hearts reference in before the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 videos every week. Join the Patreon to vote for Qui-Gon Jinn or Cad Bane, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.